Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? Welcome to a brand new Fallout 76 news video. Today, Bethesda have shared a couple of things. First off, it's a large overview of the Pitt DLC that is coming next week. But more importantly, there are also a couple of key pieces of information in here which we've not previously had and have definitely been asking about. So very, very cool to have that. So let's jump in and have a look at this. Okay then, so yeah, we have a new Inside the Vault blog post, and as I say, mostly it's an overview of the pit. We've also got one piece of information that we'll dive into first and get that out of the way. That is, this weekend, we have a legendary sale going on. So as per, there is a 25% off any legendaries you buy from Purveyor Murmur at the Rusty Pick, if you want to head down there and give you a go on that. That's running through until Monday. Not particularly exciting, I don't think. As I usually say with this, I would recommend sticking to the legendary crafting system rather than trying your luck with Murmur, but if you so desire to go down that road, then there's an opportunity to do it at 25% off. So that one's running this weekend. So, moving on to the more interesting stuff. So, inside the vault, we have a new blog post with a new dev dive video in it. So, it's a conversation with a couple of the main devs working on the Pitt update. So, basically, they're going over here a lot of what we already know. So, basically, the responders are back. They're set up in the White Spring Resort. Yeah, we know that. They've got a new area in there. It's now divided off into two sections. You've got the main shopping mall and then an instanced area, the new refuge that you can explore, and that's tied into expeditions. Obviously, that's where all the new characters are as well. We've got the two new missions as well. Once you've completed your refuge daily, so your daily task for the responders, they'll give you enough ultrasight batteries to power the vertibird, and then you can head off and do your expeditions in the pit, of which there are two missions, From Ashes to Fire and Union Dues are the two missions, and you can pick one of them. You pick either or, so whichever one you happen to prefer to do, and you can do one per day. And obviously at the end of that you get a whole bunch of rewards that are somewhat dependent on how well you did during your particular expedition. Obviously you can do that on your own, or you can do it in a group. You can basically run expeditions once per day, or on top of that, you can also join other people's groups and join as many expeditions that way as you like. So you can launch one a day, but you can join other groups as often as you like. And of course, we have Season 10 starting on Tuesday as well with this update that will kick things off there as well. So end of Season 9 will be Tuesday morning. So there we go. Very, very cool. Or late at night if you're in the US, I guess. But the key thing here is the Expeditions dev dive. So basically they're going through this and we've got about 15 minutes of the devs talking about the inspirations behind it and so on and so forth. There's a couple of interesting bits and pieces there. Talked about the goal with Union Dues, which is the first mission they put on the PTS. It's sort of the first mission of the two in the pit, is geared around being evocative of the Fallout 3 Pitt DLC from back in the day. So it kind of leans more in that direction. It leans more in style towards that. It's its own new thing, but that's the vibe they're going for. Whereas with From Ashes to Fire, they've kind of gone a bit the other way. The big thing with the pit and the environment is really quite profoundly different, and that's something they've lent into with this second mission, From Ashes to Fire. So we know the pit got hit directly, which is in contrast to Appalachia, which didn't during the Great War. And obviously, with it only being 20 or so years after the war, it's a lot more intense, it's a lot more radioactive, it's a lot more destroyed, and a lot less cleaned up than it would be some 200 years in the future. So it's a very, very dangerous, hazardous environment. And of course, you've got things like the trogs and the effects surrounding those as well. So they're leaning into that with the second mission, From Ashes to Fire, and it's a lot more about the environmental hazards, the harshness of the environment, that sort of thing. And it leans into the Pittsburgh thing with a few sort of iconic bits of real world, I suppose, Pittsburgh, kind of captured in the Fallout universe. So that's quite cool. It's a good fun mission. It's quite harsh, and it really leads into the what it takes to survive vibe, and it kind of shows in that particular mission, which is cool. So yeah, one of the other things we'll talk about, obviously, is surrounding the factions and stuff. We've got the responders back in Appalachia. We've got the Union, who are the non-raider survivors who are on the player side, or the players on their side, depending on how you want to look at it. And of course, there's the raider faction, which are the fanatics. And comparing to, again, Fallout 3's DLC, the idea was that in Fallout 3, the raiders have completely taken over. They've got full control of the pit, so on and so forth. Whereas at this point in time, it's a much less decided thing. There's a much more fluid situation. The Union's there, they're fighting back. The raiders have yet to gain full control, but they are a hella dangerous force. So that's kind of the vibe that's going on there, which is quite cool. They talked a bit about that. So The couple of key pieces of news that come out of this video, and if you want to check it out for yourself, as always, you can find it on Bethesda's YouTube channel, so you can check it out there, and I will link this blog post in the description as well, so you can check it out there as well if you want to have a look at the blog post, have a look at the video here, the dev dive. But the really cool thing is, one of the open questions at the moment relates to Season 10 and Expeditions and the way they link. So on the Season 10 scoreboard that we're starting next week, we currently have two things in particular. We have a whole bunch of cool stuff, but two things in particular that stand out. There is the Auto Axe, which is the new weapon, or returning from the Pitt DLC in Fallout 3, but new to 76. That is available through Season 10, and it's quite early on, so quite easy to get, but it's there. And there's also the Union Power Armor, which is a new set of unique power armor. It has unique stats. It's looking pretty cool, to be fair. It's got a very, very distinct style. That is also available a piece at a time through the Season 10 scoreboard. So the big question a lot of people have got, and quite understandably, is what happens when the season's done and dusted and gone? Does that mean everybody's missed out? There have been some suggestions that it might appear on the Atomic Shop. It's just people speculating, obviously. We now have a confirmation that that is not what is going to happen. What they are actually going to do is fold it back into the Expedition system, so you will get it for stamps from Giuseppe's store. So Giuseppe is one of the new characters. He has a store inside the White Springs Refuge, and one of the new currencies, or the new currency rather, you'll get from Expeditions, stamps, you take to Giuseppe, and he'll trade for mostly mods, some camp stuff, some outfit stuff like that. Once Season 10 is over, and Season 11 starts, so that'll be December, then the key items from Season 10, i.e. the Power Armor and the Auto Axe in particular, possibly a few other bits, we'll see, but those are the big two, will be going into Giuseppe's inventory. So you'll have to earn your stamps, go down and buy them from him if you haven't already got them. So if you don't get it through the scoreboard is your earliest opportunity to get it, but if you miss out on that for whatever reason, you will be able to still get those, and it won't cost you an additional penny. So that's great to know as well. So that's a really cool key point. Obviously, Bethesda have talked about on a few occasions, QuakeCon and other places as well, that they're planning to do more missions for the Pit, which has also been confirmed in this video. They're going to work on additional missions. They've mentioned outright here something that was kind of implied but not confirmed before. That is, they will also be doing new Refuge dailies. So these are the daily missions you have to do in order to launch an expedition. Currently, there are two smaller ones that are fixed and two larger ones that change a bit more, and they also alternate out. So on top of those, there will be a whole load more added over time. So I expect some more variety to come from there over time as well, which is cool. Something to look forward to in the future, as well as, of course, new pit missions, and eventually, although we're going to have to wait on this one, they are planning on adding new locations for expeditions as well. So not just Pittsburgh, we'll be going somewhere else. But that's going to be way off because they've barely even started the art design for that. So I guess they know where they're going, but still, that's going to be way off in the future. I wouldn't expect to see that before 2024, probably, given the time it will probably take them to do that, on top of all the other updates that will be coming in the interim as well, of which there are many. They've also said that they will, of course, be adding new stuff into Giuseppe's store, so the loot pool that is currently available for expeditions will be getting expanded. We will be getting new stuff, sort of vaguely related to that. They've also said that next year Daily Ops will be getting another update, so presumably the loot pool will get updated there as well, because that needs doing. But yes, expeditions will be getting more rewards in time as well. So yeah, that's the big key points from this. I wanted to go over this reasonably swiftly and sort of keep it on topic rather than going through stuff that we've covered a lot of times before. So I do hope you guys found this useful and informative. It's definitely cool to have that little bit of extra confirmation regarding additional rewards, and especially regarding the stuff on Season 10 going into Giuseppe's store afterwards. That's definitely good to hear. That's Bethesda landing it on exactly the right side of the line there. So that's cool to hear. So, as I say, I do hope you guys found this useful and informative. If you did, please do consider dropping subs and likes. I very, very much appreciate it. Down below the video, as always, you can find my social media links, merch store, channel memberships, all those other buttons and bits and pieces. If you're interested in supporting the channel in those ways, I very, very much appreciate it. Do check those out. And of course, we are playing Fallout 76 on live stream as well, so do join us for that one. And we're going to be starting something new before too long, now that we've finished The Witcher 2, which you can catch up on if you'd like. But as to what that'll be, well, you'll have to watch this space because I haven't made my mind up yet. So I do hope you will join us for those, though. It should be good fun. But for now, thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon.